I said, hey, yo, what's good? And salute to all my YouTube land people in the building. Yes, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to J-Rock Sports Talk. And here we go. Salute to my guy WhoIsHendough. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel if you haven't done. Throw him a like or two on some of his videos. He makes very good quality NBA content. He also talks about other sports as well, but mainly NBA. Yeah, I listen, man. I got to do a response to this one. Now, Hendo's my guy. I've been in some of his streams and stuff like that. So, like I said, salute to WhoIsHendough. This is a respectful disagreement video. As far as how he has the rankings of Larry Bird versus LeBron. Now, he does say in this video that he normally, sometimes he might flip-flop, but normally he would have Larry Bird 5th and LeBron James at number 6. Now, to me, right, the issue with this debate, before I get into the video, which I'll go further into some stuff, as you see, I got some tabs open at the top. We're gonna go down the line with this. But to me, the issue with this debate is that for the most part, well, pretty much with any player in the NBA, you can't go off of their career face value looking just at accolades and stats and winning. That's really difficult to do. You have to look a little bit further, a little bit deeper into every player's story, into every player's highlights, lowlights, all of that stuff. You gotta look beyond the numbers and the accolades. What I mean by that is that not that you can't take those into context, but you have to look a little bit deeper because you gotta see for yourself how their career has shaped out in certain moments. And the issue is when you look at LeBron's resume compared to Larry Bird's resume, and as you see right here, he has it highlighted on the screen. You know, LeBron got 4 championships, right? Which is really 3, but he has 4. He has 4 Finals MVPs, which is really 3. But, he has the 4 regular season MVPs, which I have an issue with that because he shouldn't have 4 MVPs. Okay? In my opinion, Kobe Bryant should have been a 3-time NBA MVP from 2008 to 2010. Okay, I don't care about the stats and the advanced analytics and all the rest of that stuff. Yeah, and also, to be fair, you can look at Gasol as being a better player than a guy like, Mo Williams and stuff like that. But still in all, player to player, to me, because Kobe was a much better defender than LeBron. And at least in 2009, the Lakers beat the Cavaliers in both games that they faced off. So to me, I don't think LeBron should be a 4-time MVP. He was the media darling at the time. So I'm not gonna say that he didn't earn it. He has earned it. He had a phenomenal 2009 and 2010. But to me, just not better than Kobe Bryant. Okay? And that goes into the whole player versus player thing, because when you're comparing, peak versus peak, a lot of people, which it should be used, but they're going to use MVPs. But like I said, you got to look deeper into the numbers and stuff like that, because even though Larry Bird's career wasn't that long, and I know that LeBron does have the longevity, which is, I would say it's a good argument against Bird. It's not the end all be all. It's a good argument, because Larry Bird did have issues with injuries and dealing with his back. But still in all, peak for peak, prime for prime, and career versus career, I'm still taking Larry Bird. But that's not why I'm making this video. My thing is that I don't understand, respectfully, alright? I really don't understand how you can have LeBron right behind Larry Bird, and also I don't understand how anyone can have LeBron, as far as for my guy Hendo, how he can have it where it's flip-flop between those two, because to me it's not even close. Now, I'm going to play the video, and at certain points I'll just I'll stop and talk.
Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal? It's your boy, Who is Hendo. We back talking sports. Shout out to my boy Aaron for the $5 donation. This was actually a requested video. He wanted me to do Larry Bird versus LeBron James. Um, as you know, I'm not a guy who.
Hold on, before I let him continue, right? I'm gonna say this, right? I know on this channel that I've spoken a lot about LeBron, and I know it's a controversial take of where I have him. Personally, I have him in that 11 to 15 range, along with guys like Wilt, Dr. J, Steph Curry, and George Mikan. I have him in that range along those guys, and I've even been considering of taking Isaiah Thomas out of my top 10 and putting Dr. J there. But like I said, that's for another video. You know, I understand that it's going to be difficult for somebody to look at that or to hear me say that I have LeBron outside of the top 10. Me personally, I don't care what you think. That's number one. Number two, I have my reasons. And the main thing is that being that stats are hard to judge and being that it's difficult to compare era to era, you have to go by winning. You just have to. Because if we're going to say, oh, you can't compare this guy to this guy, then why is it not fair to compare the winning? Yes, it's a team sport. But if you're the best player on the team, you're going to get majority, not all, majority of the credit for leading your team to win the championship. So it's always going to go by winning. Winning is not everything, but that is the majority of it. You play to win the game. That's the bottom line. To quote the great Herm Edwards, you play to win the game. What are we talking about? You don't play for stats. You just don't. Statistics are nice, yeah, but stats are good in the context of winning. Okay? That's really the only time when it's important. When you're comparing a run and you're comparing what a person did, it's all under the context of winning and playoff success. But winning is always going to be at the forefront.
Turn it up. I'm a guy, sorry about that, but I'm a guy that don't really go all the way off of stats, but I don't go all the way off of rings either.
Now, that's a good point. You shouldn't go from either or. It has to be a mix and a balance of pretty much everything. My only thing, right, and some people may think that I'm only using this criteria just to keep LeBron out of the top 10, but no. When you're talking about winning and being on the biggest stage, the NBA Finals is the biggest stage. And you have to get it done. That's the bottom line. You have to get it done. Larry Bird he had 5 championship opportunities, meaning that he played in the finals 5 times and won 3. He's 3-2. 60%. Okay? 60%. And now that's barely passing whenever you're talking about grade value, but he's passing. LeBron is 3-9. 33%. What are we talking about? He's had good teams. He's had good talent. He just underwhelmed and underperformed. Because you know why? Because LeBron is not a good leader. And he has shown that from a lot of the decisions that he's made over his career. The decision that really killed any leadership talk of LeBron James being a leader died in 2011 when he went to the Heat. Bro, you are not a leader if you do that. You're not. And you can't be looked at in that light. But like Hendo said, it's not all about stats. It's not all about winning. Of course, you got to take into account accolades, personal achievements, records. All of that stuff matters. But the main thing, priority number one has to be winning. Priority number one. You cannot get rid of stats because nobody's going to say that Robert Horry is better than Michael Jordan. Because, yeah, he hasn't beaten rings, but come on now. Robert Horry was never the best player on any of those championship runs. And it's quite possibly he wasn't even the fourth or fifth best player in any of those championship runs. Unlike Jordan, who was undoubtedly the best player during his 6 championship runs. So, of course, don't be disingenuous and use that argument, because that's not what I'm talking about. When we look back at history, we're talking about MVP candidates, MVP winners, and legendary talent who were always amongst the best players in the league.
So we gonna run down these stats and everything. I'm gonna tell y'all who I think is the better player and who has the better career.
Now, see, this is what I have an issue with, right? Better player and better career. It should have just been better player. The title is who's better. Now he does answer, but better career, I don't think that's a part of it, but I'll let him continue.
So we got Larry Bird versus LeBron James. Of course, Larry Bird played 13 seasons. LeBron is about to play 22 seasons.
Okay, so Larry Bird hasn't played for that long. He had a career spanning for about a decade, a little bit over a decade. LeBron, of course, he's still playing over 20 years in the league. I mean, as far as for longevity, as far as longevity is concerned, that to me is overrated, especially when you talk about LeBron. Especially since it's alleged that he might be on, PEDs. And if Barry Bonds is gonna get kept out of the Hall of Fame because of allegations, then LeBron James has to be, his career has to come into question because of those very same things. And that's where I stand on that. So, as far as him playing 1,000 years into the NBA, LeBron, that really doesn't impress me. But I'll let my boy Hendo continue.
So you cannot. It's not really a fair comparison because they didn't play. LeBron has played almost damn near a decade longer than Larry Bird. So.
No, I disagree with that. I think it is a fair comparison. Well, actually, it's not. But not for that reason. I don't think it's a fair comparison because I just think Larry Bird is just flat out better and does more than LeBron. Even in the 13 years, if you line up LeBron's first 13 years, I don't think it compares to Larry Bird's first 13 years. But I'm going to let him continue.
Championships, LeBron James. NBA seasons, LeBron. Playoffs, LeBron. I don't give a fuck about no damn NBA cups. All-Star games, of course it would.
You see, and see, really? See, this is what I'm talking about, right? They really had a nerve. Now, this is landofbasketball.com. They really had a nerve to put NBA cups. Seriously? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Everything with LeBron James gets overhyped and is overrated. Everything with him gets overhyped. Everything. And you really had people talking about he tied Kobe because he has a NBA cup. Whatever, I'm going to let him continue.
Would be LeBron. Season MVPs, you know what I'm saying, LeBron. The final.
See, I have an issue with that right there, and I'm actually kind of surprised, Hendo, that you didn't mention this, but in all seriousness, Kobe Bryant should be a 3-time MVP in a row, just like Larry Bird. 2 of those should not have gone to LeBron. Now, what I will say is this. You can make the argument for the two with the Heat that he didn't deserve, but what I will say is I think you can because LeBron was the best player. Um, to me, LeBron was the best player from 2011 to 2014. Yes, I know that Miami was a super team, but to be fair, I know I give LeBron a lot of flack, but to be fair, that time because his team was in the finals every single year, that's the standard. Leading your team to the finals. Now, LeBron James is on, he has, I guess, on court leadership, but as far as for vocal leadership, he doesn't have that. But sure, he might can inspire you with his play, sure. But vocally, he's not a leader. But like I said, I'll give him the two MVPs. I think he earned those in Miami. You know what I'm saying? To me, like I said, he was the best player from 2011 to 2014 in the league. That's his bread and butter. Yes, I know he was on Miami, but he played exceptional, and his team was in the finals every year. So to be fair, if I'm gonna hold that standard for a lot of players, I gotta hold that to LeBron. But like I said, I don't think he's deserving of a four-time MVP. To me, he's only deserving of two. But I'll let him continue.
Most MVPs, of course, LeBron. Even though he's 3-6, and Larry Bird is 3-2 in the finals. All NBA.
See exactly. Even Hendo doesn't acknowledge that damn bubble chip, and neither do I. So that extra Finals MVP doesn't count. He's still a three-time Finals MVP, but that fourth one I don't count that.
NBA first team, of course, LeBron. All NBA teams, all defensive teams. Um, all defensive first team, LeBron had 5, but all defensive teams total selections 6-3. So it's really like, you know what I'm saying? It's not too much of a drop off. And Larry Bird made 3 in 13 seasons. LeBron has only made 6 in 22 seasons.
Yeah, so that's a good point. As far as for being a better defender, LeBron James is a better defender, and in part of that is because let me say this about LeBron James, right? A lot of his success comes from the fact that he's one of the most physically gifted athletes in NBA history. I put him on the Mount Rushmore. You can take your pick of whoever, even though I don't think he's the most gifted. He's up there though, but I don't think he's the most physically gifted. But he's certainly up there. But you gotta include guys like Wilt, who I would say is number 1. Number 2 is Michael Jordan. Number 3 is LeBron, and number 4 I would probably say Shaquille O'Neal for being so physically dominant. And then after that, you would have guys like Vince Carter, possibly a Dominique Wilkins. You understand what I'm saying? Guys like that. Maybe even a Kevin Garnett, as far as being a very gifted athlete when you look at the things that he can do. Maybe even a Bill Russell. So, but I'm just saying, LeBron is physically gifted. So a lot of his defense comes because of his athleticism. A lot of Larry Bird's defense comes because he has great anticipation. As when you've seen that highlight of Larry Bird stealing the ball when Isaiah Thomas threw the inbound pass and Larry Bird came out of nowhere, stole the ball, passed it to Dennis Johnson, and he made the layup. So a lot of Larry Bird's defense is very, anticipatory and stuff like that, Good position, being good on the low post, stuff like that. Larry Bird's not going to wow you with his athleticism, that's fine, but he is going to wow you with his smarts and his cunning on the court. So as far as for defense, yeah, LeBron is he's a much better defender than Larry Bird. Now, is it close? Not necessarily. There's a pretty wide gap, but that doesn't mean that Larry Bird was a slouch on defense. He definitely showed effort. But as far as for defense, yeah, LeBron James definitely has Larry Bird beat when it comes to defense. No doubt about it.
You know what I'm saying? But scoring leader, LeBron James won the scoring title. Larry Bird didn't. Assist leader, LeBron 1, Larry 0. Rookie of the year, both. In
Now that's interesting, right? That Larry Bird never led the league in scoring or assists, and the reason why that was is because the Boston Celtics had a great team. And see, when you're team oriented, unlike LeBron James, who's not team oriented, he's more stat and individual oriented. That's the problem. And that's why I said, Larry Bird, his numbers, well, that's why I said his defense is not going to wow you, and his numbers might not wow you. But Larry Bird played in a system and played on a team that they had a really good team for a long amount of time. Larry Bird, when he first comes into the league, he also played with Nate Archibald. I don't even know if a lot of people even knew that. Who was on that 1981 NBA championship team with Larry Bird. But, Larry Bird, his numbers are not going to be eye-popping. He didn't lead the league in anything. But when it came down to it, he's still an all-around fantastic player, and he's somebody that you always got to worry about within the game. So even though he hasn't led in any statistical categories, that doesn't take anything away from Larry Bird's game, because Larry Bird was an all-around threat, similar to a LeBron, but even more so because he could do more things.
the rest of that don't even matter, bro.
Right, and that's another thing. They highlighted the in-season tournament stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Like, in-season tournament wasn't even around. So the fact that you even put that up there, that's disgusting.
Then you got the regular season stats. Larry Bird was 24, 10, and 6. LeBron was 27, 7, and 7. But Larry Bird averages more steals, blocks, and rebounds, and LeBron more points and assists, which is surprising that Larry Bird averages more blocks and steals than LeBron.
Now, what I will say about that is, like I said, it's not surprising because LeBron James does get a lot of stats. He doesn't box out very good. He plays a lot of hang back defense, not playing a lot of good defense. So that's what kind of leads. That's what kind of takes him out of the rebounding thing, because he's just not a guy that's gonna box out. For all the hoopla about LeBron's size, he's a very underwhelming rebounder. And for people to say that Larry Bird wasn't really athletic, for him to get 10 rebounds is a lot. And Hendo's gonna mention it a little bit later, or even in these next few seconds. But for Larry Bird to average 10 rebounds a game in an era where there was so many good big men and so many good forwards, that is just incredible. For him to average 10 per game for his career.
Surprising. Total.
Something that LeBron James has never even accomplished, not even one time. I think the most rebounds he's ever had was maybe like 8.6, 8.7. But he's never reached 10 rebounds per game. But, he's leagues and miles ahead of Larry Bird when it comes to, athleticism, which I don't think is true.
So we can't do totals because they didn't play the same amount of games.
Exactly. So the totals don't even count anyway. Nobody should be comparing totals anyway. It should always be per game.
Field goal percentage, basically identical. Basically identical, bro. 50.56 and .496, 1/10. So they basically both shoot 50% from the field. But Larry Bird shoots 37% from 3-point line in the 80s and 90s. And LeBron shoots 35% from the 3. Free throw percentage is not close. Larry Bird.
Now let me say something about that. See, LeBron James has very, very sneaky field goal percentage. And I've already highlighted in another video, might have been the last video, but I highlighted his shooting attempts and his shooting percentages outside of the paint. And they're disgustingly bad. So this goes along with what I was saying about that athleticism. LeBron James, being that he's one of the most physically gifted athletes, he's been allowed, because he's a part of that, upper echelon of superior athletes. He's been allowed to have his athleticism carry his whole career. LeBron James is not a very skilled basketball player. He's just not. I had a conversation with a guy the other day. And I asked him, I said, well, what is LeBron James, what is his signature move? And the guy didn't have an answer. And I said, yeah, because he doesn't have a signature move. ESPN made a garbage post about a year ago talking about LeBron has a step back three. That is laughable. Laughable. LeBron's never had no step back three. That's not a signature move. Okay, now what he does have is an offensive foul. He has that, the forearm. Yeah, LeBron has that. But like I said, a lot of him getting to the basket, a lot of it is offensive fouling. Now, when he was younger, he was a lot more quicker and a lot more faster off the dribble. And the rules were a little bit lax as far as no hand checking and stuff like that. So LeBron can get to the rim at will. Combined with the fact that you can't touch him and you got to play defense with your feet, of course you're not going to stop a guy like LeBron James. Especially when the league is more perimeter driven and there's not a lot of bigger guys on the court. You got a lot. Look at guys like you got guys like Wemby and Porzingis. These are tall guys, but they don't have any weight on them. Kevin Durant, they're tall, but they don't have any weight. They're not gonna stop anybody. They're not gonna put a muscle on anybody. Not to mention that there's not at least compared to the 80s and 90s, there's not a lot of physical play, if any at all, in this era. So LeBron getting 50% is not impressive, especially when you looked at he shoots terrible outside the paint. And like I said, if it wasn't for offensive fouling and traveling and all the rest of the stuff, his field goal percentage would be even lower. Oh, and not to mention that he gets bailed out with nonsense fouls. So if he misses a shot going to the basket and they call a foul, that's not going to show up on his field goal percentage. So somebody may look at this and say, oh, it's not even close. Larry Bird has a bad, terrible field goal percentage. Yeah, but I'll tell you what. You know what LeBron has never done that Larry Bird has done? 50, 40, 90. Now, I think LeBron in 2013, he did have 50, 40. 50 from the field, 40 from the three. But even then, that was on a super team. And even then, he only had like 70-something% from the line. So Larry Bird is way more efficient than LeBron James would ever be. So that field goal percentage, you could throw that in the trash. Because he's allergic to the mid-range and he can't hit a shot outside the paint.
Best seasons. Larry Bird, points-wise, 29.9 points in 88. And LeBron, 31.4 in 2006. Larry Bird averaged 11 rebounds in 1983. LeBron, 8.6. Assists, Larry Bird averaged 7.6 assists in his best year. LeBron, 10.2. Steals, 2 to 2.2. Blocks, Larry Bird, best season, he averaged more blocks than LeBron James. So,
I mean, as far as for that, the season best and stuff like that, they do have identical games as far as they both try to go out of their way to have an all-around game. And LeBron James, no doubt about it, he's one of the best all-around players that the game has ever seen. I will give him credit on that. Now, I hold a lot of his postseason failures, I hold that against him extremely. Because a lot of people make a lot of excuses and they try to act like every series he was outmatched. And that is simply not true. Especially if you're going to call him the best player to ever play. you got to get it done. I don't care about those excuses. I don't care about, oh, well, he was hurt this year, or this year, somebody else was hurt, or I don't want to hear none of that, because a lot of you LeBron James fans, y'all don't keep the same energy when it comes to a lot of other players. So I don't want to hear about injuries and, the team wasn't good enough, he didn't have enough help. I don't want to hear none of that. So like I said, that's where I hold LeBron James' feet to the fire, is because he's had too many postseason failures. Too many. Along with the fact that his mindset, it's not like a Larry Bird. Larry Bird didn't quit on his organization. Larry Bird didn't leave the Celtics and say, oh, let me go, we're struggling against this team and that team. Let me go join up with somebody else. He didn't have that mindset. He didn't say, oh, we lost to Detroit. Let me go join up with Charles Barkley in Philly. Oh, we lost to Detroit. Let me go join Chicago. He didn't do that. He stayed with the Celtics. He never ran from the grind. Along with it being that free agency wasn't like it was back in the day. Now, yes, you could say that Larry Bird was definitely blessed to be on a team and an organization that drafted well and made some good trades, yes. But still in all, it's what you do when you have that help. Even with LeBron, I can excuse 2007. I can excuse that. Yes, I can excuse it up until the point where people are going to overrate that run. Then I'm not going to excuse it. But for people who are a little bit more realistic, yes, I can excuse 2007. He was still young. He was still trying to make his mark in the league. The San Antonio Spurs already won 2 out of the last 5 years that they've played, going for 3. I can excuse that. But what I cannot excuse is him going to Miami. I can't excuse that. That's a black mark on his legacy. You were the hometown hero, the hometown story. And shout out to a guy, another brother by the name of Hoop God. He had made a great point. You left your kingdom. You left Cleveland. You were the hometown story. You left your kingdom. You're from Cleveland. You left. I don't care if you came back. You left because you wanted to get the blueprint, which is fine. But you got to be held accountable for that. It can't just be, oh, well, look at what Kevin Durant did. Okay, we know what Kevin Durant did. Yeah, that was whack. But look at what LeBron did before that. You're not excused of that. You joining up with Dwayne Wade, who was already a Hall of Famer, already a top 75 player. Are you kidding me? And then you had Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh, by the way, who averaged the same amount of points as Pau Gasol. And they had that as a third option. People always want to talk about Pau Gasol when it comes to Kobe Bryant, and I just want to make a quick detour real quick. People always want to talk about, how Kobe Bryant had Pau Gasol. Okay, well, LeBron and D Wade had Chris Bosh. Now, who was Kobe Bryant's D Wade? Who? Not Gasol? D Wade was miles ahead of Gasol. Gasol didn't even have a playoff win, let alone make an All-NBA until he joined up with Kobe Bryant. So when you look at the talent on that team and how he underachieved and only won 2 and 4, yeah, you damn right I'm going to hold that against LeBron James. That's why I said I don't care about those damn stats. But anyway, back to my point. LeBron, he's going to go down as an all-time great. Absolutely. Now, for me, like I said, I don't have him in my top 10. You can lump him up in that 11 to 15 range. I don't care what, it doesn't matter where I put him, because I've been thinking about changing that around a little bit. But regardless of what, he's in that 11 to 15 range. He has too many postseason failures. But anyway, let's continue.
Then we got the playoffs. Um, Larry Bird averaging more steals. LeBron averaging more points. Larry Bird averaging more rebounds. Assists is LeBron, but by 0.8 tenths. Blocks LeBron by 0.1, which is very surprising. Very surprising. Now that we got all that out the way, you know what I'm saying? Statistically, you know what I'm saying? LeBron may be better, you know what I'm saying, overall.
No, he's not. Even statistically, no, he's not. Especially when we get to turnovers and when we really get into field goal percentage and free throw percentage and the fact that he's not as efficient as everybody likes to claim, no, he's not. Okay? And more importantly, like I said, Larry Bird played more of a team system. LeBron goes out of his way to not play team basketball. And then we're supposed to sit back and say, oh, well, he averaged this amount of points. What do you want him to do? No. That's not what he wanted to do. I want him to be a leader and go out there and win. I don't care about those stats, those empty stats. If you're not winning, it's empty stats. For the most part. For the most part. Okay? What are we talking about? You play to win. Because if that was the case, LeBron wouldn't have thought he needed to go to Miami. He would have just stayed in Cleveland, and however many championships he gets, it is what it is. But no, LeBron knew that in order to be an all-time great, I need a championship. Think of how many guys that had great careers but didn't win a championship. Think about it. I was looking at a segment with Kevin Garnett. See, and this is what burns me up, right? People always want to say, oh, well, you can't just look at winning. No, you can look at winning for a majority of somebody's career. Winning is always going to be the main judgment. I don't care who you look at. You want to know why that's the case? I was looking at a funny segment with Kevin Garnett, right? It was a funny moments highlight. And he was arguing back and forth with Charles Barkley. And what is the first thing that he does to Charles Barkley? You know, they're going at it back and forth, talking a little bit of trash. And what does he say to Charles Barkley? Hey, Chuck, I got one ring. You see what I'm saying? Now, yeah, you could look at that and say, well, that might bother Chuck the most. But the fact that he said that, I'm telling you, championships mean a lot. Not everything, but they mean a lot. And I get tired of people trying to excuse that just so they can include LeBron in these all-time discussions. I don't like that. Just like I don't like how people try to do that with Wilt Chamberlain. I don't give a damn if he averaged 50 points a season. Why didn't he win? If you're that much of an individual talent, why don't you win? Why are you not winning more than you're losing? Even Magic Johnson is 5-4. Larry Bird is 3-2. I mean, at any point in time, they could have been, Larry Bird could have been 2-3, and Magic could have been 4-5, and we probably wouldn't look at them in the same light if they don't have a winning record in the finals. And that's my whole point. So no, I don't think Larry Bird is not. LeBron James is not better than Larry Bird, even on a statistical standpoint. Because when you look beyond the numbers and you really look at the game and the highlights, he doesn't do it like Larry Bird. He's not efficient like Larry Bird. He's not better in the clutch like Larry Bird. Larry Bird is always a threat in crunch time. Always a threat. You cannot say the same for LeBron. LeBron, for the most part, is not a threat in the clutch. Number one, he's a terrible shooter. Number two, he's terrible at the free throw line. LeBron, right? He's up there as far as all-time misses with guys like Wilt Chamberlain and Shaquille O'Neal. He's like one of the only few guys with all-time misses at the free throw line who's not even a big man. Like, I'm talking about who plays under the basket near the rim. How are you up there with guys like that? So, no, he's not better statistically. I'll take Larry Bird's statistics because at least I know he's not trying to be selfish on the court. He's going to get his, but he's not being selfish, going out of his way to try to get those numbers.
You know what I'm saying? When you look at, well, some of that, not statistics, accolades. Accolades-wise, LeBron may be better all across the
Okay, he cleared it up. But even still, I had to mention that anyway. Okay? But I'm going to let him continue.
board. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this. As far as accolades, a lot of it is due to LeBron playing for a longer time. So I kind of see what he was saying about us being unfair. But even still, I'll take the 12, 13 years that Larry Bird has played. I'll still take it over LeBron James.
Accolades-wise, when you see all of that, right? But if you're asking me, and of course LeBron has had the better career, and I say that I'm talking about individually. But if you're
let me continue because I disagree with that.
asking me who's the better player, I'll take Larry Bird, and this is why.
Hold on, before I let him explain, right? The whole question was who's the better player, right? Now who had the better career? Because even still, with all of this longevity, I still would take Larry Bird's career over LeBron James. So you can miss me with that. And much respect to my dude Hendo, because I'm not coming at bro. Much respect to my dude Hendo. He has his opinion, and I respect his opinion because he actually breaks down stuff and he comes to a logical conclusion. So I respect my guy Hendo. I respect his opinion. I just respectfully disagree. But like I said, I don't think he's had the better career. Yeah, he's played longer, but I'm going to show his first 13 years compared to Larry Bird's 13 years. That's what you kind of have to go on. I'm going to show that comparison in 1 second. But like I said, the question is not about who had the better career. Now, I know Hendo threw that in there, but that wasn't the question. It's who's the better player. Now, I know he said he would take Larry Bird, but even with that being said, Larry Bird is still the better player for the numerous of reasons that I listed. To me, it's just not close.
Larry Bird is a better shooter than LeBron. He's a better ball handler.
Wait, let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish.
Than LeBron. Larry Bird, to me,
Alright, wait. So he said better shooter, better ball handler.
is just as great of a passer as LeBron is. I'm just talking about the film. I ain't talking about no stats or nothing like that.
Now, from what I've seen from Larry Bird, I will say that Larry Bird has a lot of impressive passing highlights, and so does LeBron. I've seen a lot of LeBron's career. What I will say is I'll give them, as far as for playmaking and passing, they're both about even. You can pick a name out of a hat, and whoever you pick, you won't be disappointed when it comes to playmaking and passing. LeBron, no doubt, is an incredible passer and playmaker, even though he does have a lot of turnovers. But there's going to be a lot more times where LeBron is going to make a good pass or a great pass than him making a turnover. But you still got to worry about the turnovers. But it is close for both of them as far as for passing and playmaking.
He's a better rebounder than LeBron, a better shooter than LeBron. LeBron, I might give him it on defense. Scoring, you got to give it to LeBron because he's the number one overall scorer.
Now, see, you lost me right there, bro. Yo, when you said that, you lost me right there. Hell no. I'm not giving him nothing. I don't care. See, and you just said you wasn't going to use total points. You just said that. Now you my dude, but you just said you wasn't gonna use total points, and I disagree. When it comes to scoring, LeBron can only score one way, and that's offensive fouling and traveling his way to the basket. Now, yes, he is a slightly below average 3-point shooter. He'll give you a three every now and then, but for the most part, that's not his game. So as far as for scoring, I'll still take Larry Bird because he could score in different ways. Not only is he the better shooter, meaning that when he shoots, he's shooting better than LeBron, but he's the better scorer because he could score in the post, unlike LeBron. He could score from the mid-range, unlike LeBron. And he could score better from the three, unlike LeBron. LeBron can only score by going to the basket. Now, what I will say this about LeBron definitely is one of the best, if not the best, transition players that I've ever seen. When you look at offense and defense, when you look at what LeBron can do in transition on offense and defense, to me, not that greatest driver of the basket, no. He's one of the greatest transition players the game has ever seen, especially that I've ever seen. In transition, LeBron is dangerous on offense and defense. No doubt about it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, number one, whatever, like that. But if you really look at
Yes.
3 levels.
Yeah, so that, like I said, that all-time scoring leader stuff, that don't fly over here. I don't care about the all-time record. You played 1,000 years. You should have every record. But I thought you were pass first. Why you don't have the assist record? I thought you were a pass first player. Why are you not leading in assist? Because you're not. Because you're selfish. Just like Will Chamberlain. Always worried about stats. Then when it comes to the biggest stage, you underperform. Just like Will Chamberlain.
Scoring, Larry Bird is better. He's a better mid-range shooter, a better 3-point shooter. And
exactly, but see, the thing is, right, Hendo? You the one that mentioned the all-time leading scorer. Which you just said earlier that you wasn't going to use that because totals don't matter. Because LeBron has played longer. But you yourself, you're using it right now to say that LeBron is the better scorer. Now, he might average, like I said, he might average more points per game, but a lot of that is not due to LeBron doesn't have a versatile scoring arsenal. He doesn't. He doesn't have a step back. He doesn't have an up and under. He doesn't have a fade. He doesn't have a hook. He doesn't have none of the stuff. He doesn't have a hop step. He doesn't have none of this. What is his signature move? What, going to the basket and doing that same old tired tomahawk, one-handed tomahawk dunk? What? Where's the versatility? Even to this day, he still doesn't have none of that stuff.
he can get to the hole just like LeBron. He's shooting 50%, and a lot of his shots didn't come in the paint.
And that's exactly my point. So how can you say that he's a better scorer?
So defense, it's LeBron. Rebounding, I'll say.
Yeah. Defense is LeBron. That's not even that's not even a question.
Larry. Playmaking, it's a wash. It's a wash to me. And scoring, I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about just on the game. I'm talking about the film. Larry was a 3-level scorer and was a more efficient 3-level scorer than LeBron. From the 3, from the mid-range, and LeBron probably in the paint. Free throw shooting is Larry Bird. It's not close. You know what I'm saying? So better career, LeBron James. To me, better player, Larry Bird. And that's just my...
Nah, you're dead wrong for that. No. First of all, better career? No. No, LeBron doesn't have the better career. Okay, Larry Bird is a certified legend in these streets, one of the greatest players of all time, the greatest small forward of all time, and it's not even close. Okay, so no, LeBron has not had the better career. I don't care how long he's played. I don't care about that, because the things that Larry Bird was able to do when his time was on the court was phenomenal. Yes, it's unfortunate he had the back injury, and are people going to use that against him? I think so, and people do use that against him. That's fine. But in the time that Larry Bird was here, he did a lot. And not to mention that he was loyal, he was professional. I mean, he was more clutch. I mean, what are we talking about? So, I mean, you answered the question. Larry Bird is the better player, and that really was the basis of the question. But better career? No, it's not LeBron James.
My opinion. LeBron fans
In my opinion.
gonna kill me in the comments, but that's just
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't care what the LeBron fans say. You know why? Because LeBron fans don't have respect for the game. So I don't care what those LeBron fans say. They can get mad, get tight, get all up in their feelings. I don't give a damn. Screw them. I don't like the LeBron fans for a lot of the dumb stuff that they have said over the years. Disrespecting players, disrespecting teammates of LeBron. I could care less about a LeBron fan. So if they disagree with that, they could kick rocks.
my opinion, which is why I have Larry Bird ranked 5th and LeBron James 6th.
See, no. No. And see, look, my thing is this, right? This video, salute to my boy Hendo, but this video is not to change anybody's mind. This video is not to convince anybody that they should take LeBron out of the top 5, top 10, have him as the GOAT, top 2. This video is not for that. Any LeBron James video that I make, it's not to change anybody's opinion. Okay? You can have LeBron ranked wherever you want him at. Now, Hendo's my guy. Even though I disagree with him, he has LeBron James at number 6, and sometimes flip-flops between him and Larry Bird. That's fine. I respect Hendo because he doesn't go out of his way to lie and make excuses for LeBron. So, I don't mind where he has him ranked at. Like I said, this video is not to convince him to change his opinion on where he has LeBron ranked at or how he views LeBron's career. That's not the goal of this video. The goal of this video is to tell him that I respectfully disagree, and that I don't think LeBron, the way he has carried himself in his career, I don't think he's worthy of being right behind Larry Bird. To me, in my opinion. And this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't just look on paper and look at these two and look at their careers, and just because the stats are similar, you can make the conclusion that LeBron James has had a better career than Larry Bird. It's not true. I don't think it's true, and I'm gonna highlight that in one sec.
Flop for me over the last 2 years. I had LeBron 5th, Larry 6th, but I got Larry 5 now and LeBron 6. So it is what it is. This is just my opinion. Shout out to Aaron in the building. You know, if you're just looking at the statistical and the accolades, of course it's LeBron. LeBron has the greatest longevity of all time. But if we talking about...
No, he doesn't. I disagree with that. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the greatest longevity. You know why? Because he only played 82 games one time. That's not longevity when you can't even stay healthy enough to play all 82 games. So his longevity is that's not a good he's not a good player to look at for longevity. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk about longevity, you might have to throw Karl Malone in there. As far as longevity and being healthy and playing all 82 games. To me, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, those are the real guys that you have to include with longevity. These are guys who routinely play 82 games. So I don't look at LeBron as the poster boy for longevity. That's only because he has the points record. And guess what? If a lot of players had been blessed with LeBron James's ability to still be playing, then they would have had the points record as well. Look at Michael Jordan only playing 13 seasons. Look at Kobe Bryant only being healthy and starting for about 14, 15 years. He missed he missed 2 years when he first came into the league, and then the last 3, he was hurt. You don't think Kobe will have the record by now? So come on, Hendo. I disagree with that, bro. You can't just look at that and say that he's had the better career. Yeah, he's played longer, but he also has a lot of postseason failures as well. And he hasn't even played all 82 games. He only did it one time. And that was because the media put a lot of pressure on him. That was back in 2018. They would say, oh, he's never done that. He's never done that. Okay, he did it one time. So what?
Film, and we're talking about player to player. Give me Larry Bird.
No. It's not give you Larry Bird. It is Larry Bird. Larry Bird is the better player. Bottom line, that was the whole question. Is who's better, Larry Bird or LeBron James? Not who's had the better career, which even then I still think Larry Bird has had the better career. He just wasn't blessed with durability. But even in his time here, he still did more than LeBron James.
The only thing I could definitively say that LeBron is better than is defense.
And I agree with you on that. LeBron James, to me, because of his athleticism, was the better defender.
Larry Bird. That's it. Scoring wise, yeah, he averaged 3 more points. But he's not a more efficient scorer than Larry.
So then why did you take him for scoring? Maybe you made a mistake, or maybe you probably was going, you was probably thinking about it on the fly. It is what it is, but I still don't understand why you took him as far as being a better scorer.
Not from the 3, which is 2 of the, and not from the free throw line. So that's
and not from the paint. From the post.
3 ways you can score the basketball that he's not more efficient at. And then rebounding, come on now, Larry was averaging 10 rebounds, and he's 6'9", he's the same height as LeBron. In a tougher era to rebound in, where it was the golden age of the big man.
Exactly, and this is funny, right? For all the noise made about LeBron's physical capabilities, it's funny. LeBron doesn't have to worry about any legit top 75 worthy caliber big men. So why are you not averaging 10 rebounds a game? Right? Just like what my man Baron Davis said. Shout out to Baron Davis. And I agree. When he was talking about that disrespectful punk, when he was talking about J.J. Redick, he's saying, listen, you could say that the 50s and the 60s had nothing but plumbers and firemen, right? Being disrespectful to the great Jerry West, rest in peace. You can say that about Jerry West, but guess what? You didn't have to worry about being a plumber or fireman. And you did not end up like Jerry West. So, the same thing goes to LeBron. You didn't have to deal with any big men. Right? You got all this size, but you never averaged 10 rebounds. You should be averaging Charles Barkley numbers when it comes to rebounds. You should be averaging 15, 16 a game. But you know why he's not averaging that? Because he doesn't box out. He gets a lot of lazy rebounds. Okay? That's what it is. He doesn't body anybody to get a rebound. If that does happen, that rarely happens. So, you know what I'm saying? So, just miss me with that with this dude.
Don't get me wrong, LeBron James is fucking phenomenal. And if you have LeBron James better, I have no argument. No,
Nah, I have an argument with that. No. Hell no. Hell no. LeBron is not better than no damn Larry Bird. And it's not even close, bruh. It's not even close. And for the most part, it ain't even got to do with finals record and none of that. Player versus player, he is not better. Just like player versus player, he ain't touching Kobe Bryant either. And there's a lot of players like that that LeBron is not touching. Player versus player. So, nah, I disagree with that. If you got LeBron ahead of Larry Bird, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I I don't listen to people like that. They can have their opinion, that's fine. I choose not to listen to people like that. Hendo is different because if he was to say that, if his definitive list was that he had LeBron over Larry Bird, I know that it's coming from a place of true analyzing the game. I would still disagree, but I would respect how he puts his list together. A lot of y'all put y'all list together based off of emotion. So a lot of y'all LeBron James fans, y'all can miss me with that Larry Bird isn't better than LeBron.
I'm saying I just be like, okay, well I prefer Larry. That's all. So this been Who Is Hendo with another video, man. I'm out. Peace.
Well, first question, Joe on the left side, second row.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. LeBron, we're just learning about your hand injury, and we can obviously see the brace. Can you take us through what happened and if it caused you any problems over the final 3 games?
What happened? Self-inflicted. Post-game after game 1. Very emotional. For a lot of different reasons, understanding how important a game 1 is on the road for our ball club. What would that done for us? The way we played, the calls that was made throughout the course of that game. And I had emotions on, the game was taken away from us. I had emotions of you just don't get an opportunity like this on the road versus Golden State to be able to get a game 1. And, I let the emotions get the best of me and pretty much played the last 3 games with a broken hand. So that's what it is.
And then
it's a perfect start on offense. It's a less than perfect start defensively.
McGee picks up LeBron James, 5 to shoot. McGee pokes it away. James up and under, throws it off the backboard. Oh, what a perfect pass to himself.
You think about mission, great awareness, and tremendous God-given ability.
And I liked at the other end what they did. They trapped Curry, and they
Magic's just a great basketball player. He's the best I've ever seen, Unbelievable. I don't know what to say.
I can remember the first time I laid eyes on Magic Johnson. We played on an all-star team back in college. I could not believe what I was seeing in practice. I actually thought I was a bad judge of talent because neither one of us got to play in the games. But I can remember going home and telling my older brother, I just seen the best basketball player I'm probably ever going to see in my life. And he started quizzing me, asking me questions. Well, how good is he? I said, well, he's 6'9", he can handle the ball like a 5'9" guard, he can shoot the ball, he can pass like he can't believe. He goes, oh, come on. Well, after this 1979, the NCAA tournament, my brother come up to me, he says, yeah, he's a lot better than you. honest, I like those ones better than the blowouts. At least we get tested. I like getting tested, man. You put the closure on. I like being tested. Those are the best ones. Best ones.
Excuse me. Man, y'all acting like he won the finals in that year, man. Anyway, hey, listen, if my audio cuts out, I don't know for how long, but like I said, man, this dude is a clown, and this is why I don't respect him, man. This is why I like getting tested. That's a flat out liar, and his fans are liars. And him. If you like getting tested, you wouldn't have left Cleveland. And that's my whole point. Like I said, the mic was muted. I don't know how much of this. Yeah, my battery. Yeah. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, I'm at 20%. Anyway, this video is about to come to a close soon. But like I said, I just had to make a response to my boy Hendo. Like I said, you know, Hendo, salute to you, bro. But I respectfully disagree. And I also respectfully disagree that you have LeBron right behind Larry Bird. LeBron, you know, Larry Bird is class personified. Larry Bird actually went out of his way to big up LeBron James as well. And big up the new NBA. LeBron doesn't big up anybody. He's selfish. He don't care about nobody. When the last time you heard him give respect to his teammates? Come on, man. This dude's a liar, a fraud, all of that, man. That's why I don't respect him. I don't care about the MVPs and the points and all of that stuff. That doesn't matter when you got a bunch of losing seasons and a bunch of underwhelming and underachieving performances. I don't care about all that stuff, man. But like I said, I know you're probably not going to change your mind. It is what it is. I'm not asking you to. Your opinion is your opinion. I do know it's coming from a place of understanding the game. So you my boy. But like I said, man, I just disagree. And this clown will never be in my top 10. Not only from his underwhelming performances, but how he's carried himself throughout the years. I don't know how you can respect a guy that says not one, not two. I don't know how you can respect a guy that does that. Yeah, granted, that is off the court, but still, that matters a lot. He wasn't even humble enough to say, you know what, I hope we get a chance to win a title. You know, I don't know. We got a good team here. Let's see what we can do. He didn't even say that. No, he made a guarantee. And before anybody wants to say, oh, well, he was just joking. Okay, so was he joking when he asked for his damn respect? You can't pick and choose when he says how we take it serious. If that's the case, nothing he says we could take serious. So guess what? When he asked for his damn respect, we don't have to take that serious. And I don't have to give him no respect. How about that? Can't pick and choose, bro. So, it is what it is, man. People, you know, like I say, you know, he's the media darling. It is what it is, man. But salute to my boy WhoIsHendough. You know, so salute to everybody that watches this video. Hope you all enjoy. I'll be back for another one. As far as for the gaming channel, I'll be back sometime soon with that. So just stay tuned. I appreciate you all checking out this video. Like I said, Hendo boy, you dead wrong for this one. But salute to my guy. But But yeah, man, if my audio cut out a little bit, my bad. But like I said, you know, Larry Bird has more respect than LeBron. LeBron saying that he likes getting tested, that's a bunch of crap. Because if you like getting tested, you wouldn't have took the easy road to win a championship. And that's just the bottom line. So, salute to everybody. Salute to my boy WhoIsHendough. Go subscribe to his channel. Go give him a like and all that good stuff. And I'm out of here, y'all. See ya.